Hello, welcome to the Love Kanika podcast. My name is Kanika,
My name is Vanita.
and we are back for another show.
Whoop whoop.
Um, if you are new to the channel, welcome, which you possibly are because we've only been doing this podcast now maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
2 years.
So
Yeah.
it's fairly new. So welcome. Also, if you don't mind subscribing, we can use all of the new supporters that we that comes over here. Also, hit the notification bell because we do go live usually on Wednesday at 6, but sometimes we'll jump on randomly. So you'll be notified if we do go live. Again, thank you for joining. We have with us today my friendly Allison. She's joining us for this show. We felt like we needed another voice for this
Agreed.
particular show we're doing tonight. We're going to talk about female beefs. I wanted to do this show because I'm sure, as if you've seen by now, if you have Instagram or anything social media wise, you've seen that there's a lot of women beefs going on, and not only, have I noticed that like in the media, but like women on my Facebook beefing, some of my Facebook friends beefing, and people I know are women are beefing. So I just figured that it would be good to just talk about like Leah's she should be back. She got disconnected. Just talk about what is causing all of this tension and strife between women. So Vanita and I have talked about this, at length over the years, because what we noticed is that a lot of this mean girl behavior starts as early as elementary school.
It really does.
Like you see, and I'm sure you all have seen it, you all experienced it, whether you was on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence. Girls click up even in elementary school and alienate other young girls, and it be based on, like, a lot of times it be based on looks. Did y'all notice that in school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or based on who was like the richest? I saw that too,
Either
like,
the richest or the prettiest, and usually the prettiest is really based off of the fact that the little boys like them. So
yes.
a lot of times it's the cheerleaders or a clique or whatever
Yep.
the popular girl was is the clique. Yes. It's been going on for years, from elementary school all the way to adulthood.
Absolutely. And a lot of this, I believe, stems from it's a insecurity that a lot of us women carry that we have either refused to acknowledge, don't know how to fix, or have masked using other things. Like, for instance, putting other women down. I've noticed that certain women who have deep insecurities try to mask those insecurities by like putting other women down, and that they believe that makes them feel better about themselves instead of dealing with the feeling, because insecurity comes from feeling like someone has something, possesses something that you don't have, right?
Yeah.
And it could be the smallest things that people feel insecure about when they're comparing themselves to you. Number one, that's the first problem that women need to stop doing, is this comparison to each other. You cannot be your friend, your sister, your colleague, the girl on Instagram. You can only be the best you can be.
That's
And
real
a
talk.
lot of this mean girl activity that's been going on for so long comes from the fact of all of this comparison that women we like to do to one another. Have y'all
Mhm.
experienced that before?
Most definitely.
Yes.
Especially, in school. You're looking at the girls are looking at other girls' clothes. And look, I came through school when cross color, like if you had cross colors,
Yes.
you was a shit. Like
Yes, you
I
were.
came through like the early 90s, right? So if you had like those type of name brands things, you were like praised in a way, if you
You
will.
were.
And
Or they
considered.
perceive you had a whole lot of money because you had them.
Yes. So in the perceiving that your parents had a lot of money, people put you in a certain category. I can't imagine now that to have like a Gucci bag is like
Girl,
I
bye.
can't even imagine what these
Gucci,
young
try
girls.
Louis Vuitton. You the echelon of the echelon, god dog it. The red bottom shoes. You definitely the echelon of the echelon.
You 15 years old, but you got a whole Louis Vuitton. Like I can't imagine the pressure
Mm,
these young girls must feel now to be accepted, because that's usually what it is. It's I'm better than you, or I'm prettier than you, and I'm gonna let you know that you're not as pretty as me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that type of stuff sticks with women. That
it does.
feeling of, not belonging or feeling not good enough to be accepted by a clique of other women, it sticks with women. And ladies, we got to start being nicer to one another. I hate when women are beefing. I hate to see that, because we are so much better together, right? Helping one another than we could ever be apart. Now, I understand everybody not going to be best friends. I get that. Everybody personalities are not going to mesh. That's just
Mhm.
relationships in general. You don't mesh with every man you meet, so on and so forth. But I think there needs to be a bit more civil behavior towards each other than, what I've been seeing. Even like I said, in the media, there are two very pretty, rich, famous rappers that are beefing publicly. And for the life of me, I can't figure out what they mad at each other about. I'm like, what's the problem?
Right.
You're rich,
Oh,
you're beautiful. You got, what else do you want? What is there to be mad about? That lets me know that there's a lot of internal stuff that goes on within the female collective that we just refuse to address. One thing I know about women, and I've seen this all my life, and y'all know this to be true. We as women, we focus on everything but ourselves
mhm.
for a good majority of our life. Number one, we focus on men. That's number one.
Yeah.
Everything about women usually revolves around a man being in love or trying to be in a relationship. And so there's really not a lot of self work that goes into dealing with these insecurities, pains, and hurts, because we're so busy trying to get into a relationship.
Hmm.
This is the biggest issue I've seen with women throughout my entire life. Everything focuses on men. Everything is about being in love. Everything is about who he fucking. Everything is about that. So you and your self-development just as a woman falls by the wayside, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Because
it's
after they
hard.
focus on them so deep, they end up having kids. Then you have to focus on the kids.
It is a cycle. We want the relationship so bad, we end up focusing on the kids, and we've never even really developed any skills on how to really cultivate a healthy friendship.
Yeah.
A lot of
But
women
want to
like,
quote unquote be friends with the men. if you can't cultivate a relationship with a female, how do you expect to make it work with a man?
I always
They talk a whole different language.
they are complete. They from a different planet.
They are.
If you can't cultivate a relationship with women, healthy relationships with women, there is something wrong, right? And that's the truth. A lot of women don't want to tell. I see a lot of, and I've seen this particularly on Facebook, particularly. A lot of women like to get up on social media and brag about having no friend, having not no friends, or being solo. Baby, that ain't no flex, baby girl. The fact that you can't keep women around you, or women don't want to be around you, that is not a flex. Baby
Well, I
girl.
think it stems from way back because I mean, early on, I can remember women around saying, "I don't really fool with women. I don't really. They're messy. I don't really fool with women." So it's embedded in you early on.
It is. And we have to ask ourselves why. And it
Mhm.
again, women, we deal with a lot of insecurity that we do not want to acknowledge. And a lot of the time it comes from you looking at another woman's look,
Yeah,
her personality,
yeah.
her relationship, her body. Body envy is bad amongst the female collective. It's bad.
Mhm.
You you can only work with the body God gave you. There are ways to alter yourself through surgery, through working out. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with becoming the best physical version of yourself. But I'm never going to be Vanita. Vanita's body is
Mm,
Vanita's,
yep. And
right?
I'm never gonna be
I'm
Kanika's.
never going to be Lee Allison.
Yep.
That's her body.
Ain't
I
no.
can only be me. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of this constant comparison is why a lot of women cannot seem to get along. We refuse to run our own race. We refuse to stay in our own lane. We're trying to be her. You can't be her. You can only be you.
Mm.
We need to really search ourselves as women. We really do. And acknowledge the parts of us that we don't feel good enough about. And then figure out how we're going to heal that. Right? You can't change who you are. You can work out, it's things you can do to be better, but you are who you are. Your face is your face, your height is your height. There's a lot of women who just don't accept themselves, meaning, and I get it. And I get it. And I think society has a lot to do with this. Vanita was reading something to me earlier that I want her to read to you guys. It kind of breaks down what we're saying about not feeling accepted. And a lot of this starts in school. This mean girl behavior starts in school. V, can you read what you read earlier to me?
Yeah. So I was looking through some monologues online and ran across this one from a high school student. And the monologue says, "Why do I want to leave? Because I haven't found my home. I am born an African American woman from the heart of Atlanta, but according to you, I am not black enough. Which me which makes me an Oreo? Sure, I love pumpkin spice and hate cornbread, but that doesn't make me any less black as you. I care about black lives and the struggles that come with it. Just because I am more fortunate than others doesn't mean I should go to a fancy private school. Is it is it not crazy that the people who are supposed to understand you the most never accept you? So to answer your question, I want to leave because I have never found my home.
Hmm.
So for me, reading this, it sounds like the young lady is saying that she was not accepted at school, or she was treated or felt like she was better than they it sounds like she got into something with some young girls. And reading further through the post, it that's pretty much what a lot of people were saying, that she's being bullied at school at the end of the day is what's happening. They're not accepting her because they feel like either she has money, maybe she's prettier than some of the other girls, but she's feeling like an outsider. And it's coming from her peers.
Right.
That happens as adult. Have y'all experienced that as adult women?
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, I definitely have. Yes.
Yeah.
You've experienced it, Lee Allison?
Yeah. Like, maybe at work, or not, like, before, you just notice it around you.
Mm-hmm.
You just notice it, if you don't fall into people's category in their minds of how a
Yes.
person should be, then they're going to treat you like that.
Mm-hmm.
If they have learned that behavior over the course of their life and have not
Exactly.
changed. Because we all learn behavior to put people in certain categories just by watching when we're growing up. But then, you evolve from that eventually. You should anyway, once you become an adult.
You would
You would
There's
think.
a lot
hope.
of adults who don't. And then that
Yeah.
stems from the fact that they have deep-rooted problems like jealousy in their hearts and envy and
Yeah.
not being comfortable with who they are, you know?
That's
I
true.
100% agree.
I know for a fact of two women who are very pretty, nice
Mm-hmm.
bodies, men like them, smart, just everything that you would think that a woman would want, but they're not happy with themselves. So they project that on other women. And so it doesn't come from their self it is self-esteem, but it doesn't come from the way they look, what they have. It comes from some deep-rooted things that are inside of them for whatever reason. And I
Exactly.
think a lot of that is jealousy. And jealousy is just something that, people kind of get through life. And it comes through envy also,
It does.
you know,
And that's sad
just,
because this young lady of what I just read, this is in high school. Like,
mm-hmm,
there's no reason why that young lady should feel this way. This is crazy.
yeah,
The norm, though.
It
yeah,
is. That's the sad part of it.
Women click off based on a lot of times looks.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
the truth women don't really want to tell.
exactly. I agree with that.
I know some women who make friends with other women because they think they see the girls out or wherever, and they think the girls are pretty, and they try
Hmm.
to be friends with these girls because pretty, or they like got name brand things on. You know what I mean? Like they feel like the girls are like, they wear Prada, or they got a certain.
Yeah.
I know women who make friends with women based on material things,
And
right?
then what's sad in that, you're not even getting to the individual's personality, because
mm-hmm,
then they're not even treating them well, like
And
a friend should be treating you.
it has ended up bad every single they have fallen out
Yes.
with these girls every single time because they're basing it on some superficial stuff. I don't know if they feel like these girls being around these girls make them look better. I don't know what because I've never been that way. I make friends with people based on the character of the person.
Hmm.
mm-hmm,
The character of the person, and if my spirit resonates with that other person, right?
mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm a pretty open person when it comes to allowing people in. I think I can comfortably say that.
You are. I agree.
That when I do, it's not based on how she look or who she with or what she got or who she know. That's another thing. People be trying to befriend people based on who they know. That's another thing. I base it on, does my spirit resonate with this particular one? And it for the most part, I haven't really had a lot of interactions with women where I was just like, oh, I just can't up with her. I haven't had a lot of that, but what I have had is women try to be my friends, and I can tell that the angle they're coming from is an unhealthy angle. Meaning, they're trying to be my friend because it's something that I possess, and this is an energy that is given off. This is something that they say. This is something that I feel. Like they're trying to be my friend based on something they see and need that they want for themselves. Now, there's nothing wrong with admiring qualities in your friends. You know, I have qualities that I admire, you know, in my friends that I don't, you know, possess or whatever. But there's a part of that can get kind of dangerous. Like I had this one friend from way back in the day, and I could tell she had a bit of a low-key obsession with me, to the point where I told V about it. I told Vanita about it. I said, Vanita, I know this is about to sound crazy, that I think blah, blah, blah watches me. And not in a good way. And she was just like, really? And like, I'm telling you what I feel. This friendship is not healthy. It's an underlying, there was an envy there, to the point where, and I told Vanita this, I got to end this friendship because this woman wants my life. Did I not tell you that, Vanita?
Yeah, you did.
I got to end this friendship. This is going down a road that's not going to end well, because it's something that I possess. And it wasn't even, it was like a personality thing, or an energy thing that she was envious of, because she's a beautiful girl. It wasn't a looks thing, and it wasn't a money thing. She had the same things that I had. So it wasn't that. It was an energy that she felt like, or personality, or something within me that I have that she felt like she did not have. And it began to, the energy that she would give back to me, I knew that if I keep this girl around, this is the type of woman that'll try to F my man. She's that girl.
Those were your words back then.
Do you remember?
I do very well.
Conversation. I had to cut that friendship off because I could tell that she wasn't in a healthy enough place to be friends with me and it not end up on some other shit. I knew this. And that's why I said women have to really do the work, because it's hard to have healthy friendships when you're an unhealthy person. Going back to what Lee Allison said. Two women, beautiful, men like them, blah, 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 blah. But they have an envy. They have an envy of other women. And it comes from, I know specifically, it comes from an insecurity that she's dealing with. Because one of these people Lee Allison is referring to, I personally know, because they did it to me. I know exactly who she's talking about, because they did it to me. To the point where I had to tell her, this might not be healthy for me to be around this person, because the envy is so thick. You know, when you're around it, and when you look at this person, you would never think, just by looking at them, that she was dealing with this shit that she was dealing with, is probably still dealing with internally. And this is why women can't really seem to get along. This jealousy that we be having amongst each other really needs to be looked at.
Real talk.
And it's so many forms of it, of jealousy. Women, y'all be jealous of each other about the silliest shit. The silliest shit. You jealous because I went on a trip? To the same. Cabo ain't closed. You can go.
Oh my God.
It ain't closed.
Cabo, Dubai, Thailand, Germany, Vegas, none of these places are closed down. It's
They
not
open
exclusive to
24
certain people.
They open 24 hours a day. Why would you be jealous of somebody because they took a trip?
Girl, if anything, you should be calling your friend like, girl, tell me what I need to do to go on these trips, you know? It looks
Yes.
like, not. But I think like some people just have that jealousy or that envy unconsciously, because if you have everything, if you seem to have everything, what makes you envious of somebody who may not even be on the same level as you? And you know what I'm saying?
It's wild.
Yet you still feel the way that you feel.
It's wild.
Exactly.
It's wild. And again, a lot of this comes from ignoring the internal work that clearly, definitely in our community, with us, in the women in our community, we have a lot of internal work to do. And instead of focusing on, because at this age, everybody kids should be grown by now.
Exactly.
Or damn near. We need to stop focusing on trying to be in love so damn much and learn to love ourselves.
Allow your kids to grow up and do them. You've taught them the best way you can. Now circle back around on you.
We need to focus on ourselves, ladies.
Not looking for your kids to even have kids so you can focus on the grandkids because you don't know what else to do with yourself.
That's another thing with Black women too.
And learn to just be happy for people. If you learn to be happy for people, you wouldn't be so jealous or so envious or feel a certain way. If someone goes on a trip or they get their hair done, lose weight, just be happy for the person. And that's it, you know?
You would think. That's another thing. You jealous because I'm skinny? You can be skinny too.
Listen,
skinny ain't clothes neither.
I was about to say, skinny ain't just exclusive to certain folks.
Yeah,
Listen, everybody can figure out what the formula is for you. Like we said on not the last show, but the one before, is that right?
Yeah, the show on weight loss.
On weight loss. Yes. Go listen to that, guys, if you haven't. Listen, there's all kind of formulas to lose weight.
Yeah,
So like don't be mad at the chicks that are already lost.
And like Kanika just said moments ago, there's all kinds of ways to get there. If you figure out how you're going to get there, you know, it's just simple.
You don't have to be envious of someone else's whatever. You too can have whatever you think that she ain't, that she got that you don't have.
Whatever that may be. All the way down to friendships. Stop being jealous of one another if you got friends with another and you perceive that they're not friends with you. You can create whatever friendships you want to create.
Not friendship.
I don't believe any of us are blocking one another from being friends, whatever type of friend you want to be with someone.
Have you experienced friendship jealousy?
I definitely have.
I've experienced friendship jealousy. I had this one friend, and although she didn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed to have a problem with all my other friends. Like, just for no apparent reason. And for the life of me, for a long time, I did not think that it was me, that she didn't want other women to be around. Like, I never got that. You can have more than one girlfriend.
Most definitely.
It's okay if your friend has other friends, ladies. It's okay. I was watching this show on
Mm-hmm.
called Love the Marriage DC. I'm sure y'all seen it. If you haven't, you should watch it. It's actually pretty good.
It is.
There are two girls on Love and Marriage DC, and well, three girls. Two of them have been friends for looks like quite some time or whatever. And this new girl that came into the fold, and one of the friends is hanging out with the new girl. She hadn't dumped her old friend. She still hangs out with her, but she hangs out with the new girl too. And now the girl, the old friend, don't like the new girl. She's
For
trying
no
to
reason.
make no
For no reason.
She's jealous
of their friendship, of the other
because she doesn't want her friend to have. This is the shit I'm talking about with women.
Mm.
Your friends are allowed to have other friends besides you.
Exactly.
Ladies, we cannot be this childish.
Mm-hmm.
Make you feel like you in high school for real. What I just read to y'all. Sheesh.
We in our 40s and 50s still acting like we in the 8th grade? At what point do we turn around and look at ourselves and say, wait a minute, self, why are you feeling like that? Why do you feel like, why do you get upset when your friend goes out with her other friends?
Exactly.
Or why do you get upset when that girl posts a picture? Why do you get upset when your friend get some flowers from her man? Like, why does that make you feel a certain kind of way?
Yes. Why?
It's time for you to turn, huh?
I said women have to ask themselves, like you said, look deep down inside, because it's disturbing for somebody that it's just baffling for, like, why do you feel that way?
Exactly.
Someone else got just
you don't ask yourself why you get upset that your friend got some flowers from her man. Wouldn't you should be happy that a man actually thought, because you know they don't, their lines don't even go that far.
It doesn't.
She got somebody that thought far enough to even send her flowers.
right.
You should be happy for her.
No.
Ladies, we gotta start like cheering for each other, not being each other's competitors. Men got y'all like this. Men got y'all like this. This need for validation from men is why y'all behave the way that you do. Let me just go and put that out there. Women be low-key be competing for the attention of the male population. That's what this be about.
It is.
You feel like her body, her looks, her curly hair, her skin tone, or whatever is getting the attention from men that you want. That's what this is about. A lot of the times.
Yep.
You can't take male validation to the bank, ladies. Male validation ain't gonna do shit for your life. Trust me.
Male validation does, all they want is sex. Y'all, you tripping over it, but all they really want is sex.
Ladies.
That's all that they're admiring that female for.
That's all it is. You're not missing out on nothing. Why are you jealous of her? Because she gets male attention. She just got 1,000 more men who want to fuck. It don't mean
1,000
nothing.
more issues are trying to weed out to see which ones are genuine. It's more problems than anything.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all it is. There's no reason to be jealous of other women because you feel like she's pretty attractive or get male attention. So what? They just want to fuck. That's all they want to do. Y'all should know this at this big age. You in your 40s and 50s, you should know what men want by now. You done enough of them screwed you over. You should know this by now. And we still here in 2024. Come on, ladies, it's time to do some self-work.
Mm.
Everything ain't the fault of men. I know we like to point the blame at them and they did this and they did that, but you are a participant.
Exactly.
In all this shit.
Definitely.
It's not always them. Ladies.
Stop playing victim.
Yeah, because really, the woman holds the key. You hold the key of how anybody treats you. You know what I'm saying? How you
All the
respond.
time.
You hold the key as a person of the individual. You don't have to respond a certain way to
All
other
the
women,
time.
especially. You know, you just women got to realize the ball is in our court.
It
Agreed.
is.
We
In
determine
every
what
way.
happens with it.
In every
You're
way.
absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And the energy you're putting out, that energy, because even though I didn't know the lady well, that I could feel I didn't know her well. I just got to a job, and and it was a whole group of girls, and they hung together. But it was this particular lady who was trying to be my friend, that I could feel that she was coming from an unhealthy place, to the point where I had to tell her, like, look, you're beautiful, because I could feel the low self-worth. Like, I could feel her comparing herself to me, and it didn't help that I don't have no kids. I don't know why that bothers women. It bothers women. The fact that
It's
I
a
don't have
struggle
kids,
bond. That's all that is.
That is so crazy to me.
it bothers women.
What?
It's a struggle bond. They feel like because they're struggling or having to focus on raising the kid, and they're not as free. It's an unconscious type envy that they have, a big time unconscious envy, because again, like we've said on previous shows, when you have kids, your energy, your light goes down, because you have to take part of yourself and focus on that child.
Right, because that light is not on you anymore. That light is shining on those children, period.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's not that you don't have a light that could shine on you. You just take all your energy, like you said, and put it on
Yeah,
your
at the
child.
time, and rightfully so. I mean, when you have kids, that's what you have to do, real talk, in order to make sure that they become successful. All of us want our kids to be successful.
Right.
So you have to shift the focus. But when you don't have kids, you're able to have the entire focus on self, which brings your light much higher.
That makes it shine a little bit more brighter when you're around others.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was jealous of the fact, and I knew it, because she was always saying, you see, yeah, because you don't, everything you don't have.
It's so deep. I know in one of our past shows, I mentioned that even one of my guy friends, Kanika and I, and some of our friends, male friends, were hanging together, and one of my guy friends literally turned to her out of the blue and said, "You don't have any kids, do you?" It was just the strangest thing, because we were not talking about anything to do with kids at all.
Wow.
And he just turned around and asked her that question. I just looked, I was like, wow, that's deep. He's seeing her light. He could see that her light was brighter, higher.
I was like, how did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I can just tell by, basically, he was saying, you can tell by my energy
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't
That's
have
pretty much
kids.
what he was
That
saying.
was deep.
Mm-hmm.
Women get jealous of that.
Yep.
Wow.
Because, like Vanita say, they feel like I'm free.
Yeah. They just want that.
Your kids grow up.
They do.
They grow up. It's up to you, your life is not over because you had kids.
Again. That's why, as long as this podcast goes on, guys, I am going to forever advise you to choose you. And I understand that some of the masses don't care for it because they think I'm talking negative about the kids. It has no bearing on the kids. I want us 50, 40s and on to enjoy your life. You've raised your kids. It's okay to choose you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to say that a part of why women have this low self-esteem and envy and jealousy is because they never kind of disconnect from the mother thing? Not saying you can disconnect from it because you're forever your children,
But you
but
can to a certain extent. You can disconnect from it to a certain extent if you choose to. It's all a choice. It's all about creating boundaries for yourself. Once we have instilled what we can into our kids, and we all do the best that we can in the space that we're in when we have them,
Mm-hmm.
when they become of age, they're an adult just like you're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to choose you over them. They have a lot more time to figure out life. You're on majority of the time you're on your latter end of your life. It's okay to choose you. You have to have, to me, I perceive that you need to have faith that you have put everything in them and they will figure it out.
Yeah.
And they will indeed. If you have put that in them, they'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay for you to create a boundary there. I'm not saying just totally cut them off and don't deal anymore, but create boundaries. Because
Yeah.
the world creates their boundary. So you want to teach them to be able to survive when you're not there. And in that, sometimes you have to tell your son how many more days. You're 21 years old, you're 22, you're 23 years old. What are you doing? You can't just keep sitting around the house. What's your
Yeah.
next step? What's your plan? Your daughter, you can't just lay here, love, and keep running after the little boys. They're not, you're going to go through several of them. So choose you. Choose you.
And I even had to learn to do that now outside of my children, but with other, you know, family members, not from my
Mm-hmm.
side, but you understand
Gotcha.
from my husband's
Yeah.
side. I had to learn, and I'm learning now, and I'm taking steps that I can't be a crutch for them and still walk on my own.
Yes.
I can't do it because if I'm taking my energy that I need for myself and it's being depleted by someone else, I have nothing left for me. And
Exactly.
meanwhile, when I lost my two boys, it made me even realize that your life is so precious that don't wait for tomorrow to do something that you want to do because tomorrow's not promised. So you got to take all of that energy that you're putting into other people, your kids, when they're adults, when they're children, you owe them that energy when they're your children because they didn't ask to
Exactly.
come into this world. But once
Exactly.
they become an adult, then you have been able to teach them how to walk on their own. Then you
Yes.
have your in-laws or your people in your family or your friends. You can't continue just to give them your energy anymore and your peace because you have nothing left to give to yourself. And then when somebody else really needs it, you don't even have it to give to nobody else.
Exactly.
So you just got to learn that. And, you got to learn to take care of self. And when you take care of self, you learn to be happy with self.
and I think that goes back to the reason why women part of the reason why women can't get along is because I think there's a part of women who feel like they can't live their own lives or they sacrificed so much of themselves. You know what I mean?
So they're angry really about it. They're really angry about the choices that they have made for themselves. And because society promotes being there for everybody, your kids, your man, the family, all these different individuals, society never tells us it's okay to choose you.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the source of why women can be mean girls and men seem to be able to get along with each other a whole lot more because see, men are free. They're gonna be free. They don't give a damn who don't like it.
Period. And
Men,
they don't.
I learned from watching them
Yeah.
all my life. Men choose themselves.
I was gonna say they choose them all day long. They
They
hold their boundaries. They only gonna give
nobody.
you oh so much.
That's so true.
They sacrifice for a mother.
You can look around at all the
It can
men.
be kids and they don't give two doggone.
They,
They
they,
don't care.
they can go too. The kids can go too. Everybody can go.
Yes.
Yeah, the men definitely have those type of qualities. Like
They do.
and we call it when when you're evolving, you may be like it's heartless or not being thoughtful, but really it's a strong quality to have if you strategically use it in a good way.
I agree.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So it's
Yes.
really a strong quality that men
I
have.
agree.
I agree with that.
I learned that watching them. I did. I peeped them as a teenager. I was like, I ain't sacrificing shit. I'm gonna be like me. Let me do shit. It's gonna
That's
be
right.
all about me. And I'm gonna tell you, some of the best decisions I ever made came from choosing me. I didn't want to sacrifice. I didn't want to be nobody mama. I didn't want to do none of that shit. I want all my time, attention, money, and sleep for myself.
She said sleep.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was waiting for her to throw that in. That one love to sleep, boy.
That's everything. I can't wait to get outside and go sleep.
Exactly.
That's right, girl.
Everything. No, seriously. And I think that's part of the reason why I am as happy and joyous as I am because I've had all of this time to pour into me. That's why Benita always talks about ladies choose you.
Yes.
I would suggest, I'm not going to say not to have no kids, but really think about it because she understands how much of yourself you got to give.
All of yourself.
Yes.
In a lot of other areas of your life, you there's going to fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
You definitely give up self. I mean, and rightfully so, because the children that has to come
That's right.
to this world. You brought them in here, so now it's time for you to do what you're supposed to do. You know, and
that,
even
that's
in
it.
that's why we were saying, even in that, once they hit adulthood, it's okay to cut the umbilical cord. You can leave a little bit of it there. They can always call for advice, and if they need to come back, I don't even say if because life happens. Life be lifing sometimes. So if they need to come back, we get it.
Yeah.
But make sure that you set up with what's the time frame? What's your next step? Because life is going to forever happen. So what's your next step? And if I wasn't here, what would you do next? Because it's going to be a point in time that I'm not here. So what are you going to do?
And
can you figure it out?
Yeah, this ties back to why a lot of women be unhappy and jealous too, because like I said, they don't feel freedom within their own life. There's nothing worse than feeling trapped in your own life.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
There's nothing worse. Like you feel trapped in your own life. So of course you're gonna be, spew out this stuff because misery loves company.
Exactly.
That's why V is saying, ladies, choose yourself, and Lee Allison is saying, have boundaries.
Exactly.
So that you can maintain that peace within yourself. Because trust and believe, when it's chaos inside, it's going to be chaos outside.
Real talk.
And it's up to you to do that. Now, I'm not a mom. So I let Benita, is particularly, we understand when kids are little, you have to be there. You have to give of yourself to a certain degree. You just can't help that. They didn't ask to be here. But a lot of women still be treating their 25-year-old like they 10.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then be mad about it. But you do, again, I'm not a mama, so I let V.
Yeah, that, or you guys are, some of you guys are allowing your adult kids talk to you slick slide in some kind of way. Don't you pay the bills in the house? That's unhealthy. That's way unhealthy. That's not okay. Self-preserve.
Oh, I was at someone's house one day. I was getting my hair braided, and this girl's teenage son had did something, and she was asking him, why'd you do this? You don't care, and he was like, really, like talking back to her, saying, "So I don't care." And for the life of me, I could not understand why she let that go. And she was like, "Do y'all kiss?" I say, "Never. No, I wouldn't allow it." I couldn't understand why she was allowing that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Something internal.
I just don't understand.
Lack of
And a lot of
boundaries.
times, ladies, it's guilt, and I get it. You have guilt because you felt like you then chose this child's father, and
Mm-hmm.
he isn't there, or he isn't helping, and you got to try to find a way to explain to this child where their father is. That's a lot on you, and we get it. But you have to forgive yourself because you did the best that you could at that time. You did
Mm-hmm.
the best that you could,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and learn how to self-preserve now and move forward, and do not allow your kids to beat you up, because there's some kids out here, some of these teenagers and young adults in their 20s talk real slick, sly, and real mean to you guys, and you still feel like you have to be there for them because you brought them into this world. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you did, but at some point, when do you save you?
That's
It's
real.
okay to save you. That's all
Women,
right.
women, it's time for women to know that it's okay to choose you. I think
Yes.
society has brainwashed women to a degree that women feel almost worthless, like servants to everybody else, servants to kids, servants to men, servants to your job. Like, when are you gonna choose you? Because that, again, that internal world is reflecting outside. So if you're having a bunch of problems with women and you don't have no friends and you always falling out with them, it's time to look in the mirror.
Exactly.
What is it about me that I can't
Exactly.
sustain a healthy friendship with the same sex? Because it ain't hard. Being
Not at
authentic,
all.
being authentic for me, being authentically me at all times, I think is one of the reasons why I've been able to have healthy adult friendships with women. Because I know who I am, I'm okay with who I am, and I've dealt with most of my issues and insecurities. We're always growing. There's always room for growth. But I took the time to pour into myself to deal with those things that I didn't always feel good about or I felt insecure about. I dealt with that. Whereas women, y'all try to mask everything with relationships. Let me just get in a relationship. Let him save me. It's not men's job to save y'all. And nor do they want to, nor are they going to. Y'all see it.
Right.
Even when you had their babies, they still didn't stay because they don't care.
Right.
This period. So turn that attention back on yourself so you can start to create healthy relationships, with women. And that goes when you have good relations with women, you can have them good with men, and it can also affect the relationship you have with your family
Mm-hmm.
because you're happy with yourself. Even when
Exactly.
you're happy with yourself and you're vibrating at a certain frequency because you're healing or you've healed, you can instantly feel when something is not good for you or somebody's not good for you, or
Yes.
you can feel it. So the drama that came into your life, let's just say 5 years ago, that you might not have seen, you've healed to a point now where you can instantly see it. So you don't even know not to go down that road
Exactly.
because your vibration is so high. You can feel when somebody is vibrating nearly where you at or extremely low. You be like, okay, I can see they're not in the hill. They're not bad people. That's just
No, they're
where they
just in a
are in their
different
journey.
space.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's just
Mm-hmm.
where they are in their healing journey
Hmm.
Yeah.
or where they're at in their life. But when you have worked on yourself to a degree, you automatically can sense it. So you don't even draw in this drama with other women because you can sense it, right?
Mhm.
And that comes from self-work, right? What is it about me that I'm envious of her? What is it about me? Do I feel like I'm not good enough to, to achieve that or have that? Because that's usually where it comes from, the sense of not being worthy, worthy to have this or worthy to, to go here or go there. That's an internal thing. Life is not about men, ladies. I know y'all think it is about men and being in relationships. That's a part of life. We make it too much of our life. And like Vanita said, then you have these kids trying to live this delusional happily ever after, not knowing that when that relationship ends after 7 years and you got an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, you still got to be a mama.
Yes.
Is nothing wrong with being in a relationship and trying and hoping out for the best, but be realistic
Exactly.
about it.
Mm.
Because the relationship ends, you stuck with the kids, now you're mad. You're mad at the world, you're mad at women, you're mad at everybody.
We have to practice more self-love.
We do.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line. Everything is not about men. It's about you. And when you're in a healthy place, you can draw in a healthier version of a male.
Yeah.
And healthier friendships with women. You don't have to feel like every woman is going to be out to get you
Exactly.
or do you dirty. A lot of that actually be projection because you know how trifling your ass is.
That's exactly.
That's what it really be.
Yeah.
That is a lot of times.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, man, you've dealt with women throughout your life, but at a certain point in your life, you like, I look around and maybe I've weeded people like that out of my life, but the people who I do have in my circle, which is my circle of people I call my friends, I associate with, I just I don't see that within them. And I guess I'm blessed to have that in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't see that within the circle of people. I only have a handful of people that I associate with, I talk to and I hang out with or whatever, but I don't see that within those people.
Absolutely.
Within you guys, I don't see it. So I'm just thinking I have, throughout the course of my life, but to get to this and to this age and still deal with people who are like that, it's just like, why?
And
Yeah,
It's
it's
a waste of
confusing.
time.
yeah, and it's because the women again, every woman is not going to resonate with everyone, and every woman is not going to be best friends. The envy and jealousy that I see that goes on within the female collective lets me know that we need to really start looking at ourselves and stop focusing so much on, again, men and kids. Like at this age, your children are grown, so you should have plenty enough time to focus that attention on yourself, right?
And focusing the attention on yourself, guys, is not always the easiest feat. You can dig up some pretty ugly things that you did not realize that was in you.
You shadow self.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Being acknowledging and seeing that that's so, you don't have to be that. So it can change. So don't start breaking yourself down behind it either. Awareness changes more than anything.
I had a friend of mine who had an issue with another woman, right? And me and that friend were trying to figure out what the core of the issue was, because we couldn't figure out what the core of the issue was. And I was so proud of my friend because she didn't blame the other woman for what was going down between them, right? She didn't say, she did this or she treated me like this, da 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 da. What my friend did was she looked at herself and she said, what is it about me that I am so disturbed by this issue? What is it about me that I want this situation in my life, or I want this person in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the conclusion she came to as she dug underneath the surface, because like Vanita say, digging up your shadow side, the things that your ego doesn't want you to see, it's not an easy feat.
Mm-hmm.
But she was able to go beyond her ego and realize that the other woman possessed a quality that she wished she had.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And I thought that was phenomenal because so many other women would have been like, she blah, 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 she da, 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 blah, 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 blah. But she looked at the situation and was like, this is why I want to be in her life, or this is why I want to be her friend, or this is why this hurts so bad, because she has a whatever, let's just say freedom. Let's just say freedom is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
She has a freedom about her personality that I don't feel like I possess.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I want that. I want that, right? So I'm giving this example for women to see sometimes it's not her, it's whatever the situation is trying to show you about you.
Yourself.
Like she's mirroring something back to you that you need to heal, grow, or acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
within yourself.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only men that are our greatest teachers when it comes to growing spiritually and evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends can be that too.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
If
You should look at it. Your kids can be that.
Yeah, your children can be that too.
Yes. Yes.
Like, what is this situation trying to teach me? What am I trying to heal from? What is this lady or my friend mirroring back to me that I need to look at within myself?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I angry? Why do I feel like she get everything and I don't? What is it? Is it my energy? Do I not feel like worthy? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's time for women to do the internal work.
Exactly.
And I'm going to
We
talk
have
a
to
lot
work
about
ourselves.
this on the podcast because this is a healing journey is something I've been on since God started showing me at 25. God started saying, you are broken, little girl. And it's time for you to start looking at this stuff. Because you're never going to create the life I know you desire if you don't feel like you deserve it. There's a lot of unworthiness that's in the female collective. And I know it's unworthiness because I can just tell how we interact, not only with women, but with men.
That's true. That's true.
Wow.
How we give them so much rope. They can cheat on us about 30 times, not do a damn thing, but as long as they there, we good. But when it comes to women, she do one thing, she cut off.
Yep.
Y'all notorious for that shit.
That's true.
These niggas, these men done dogged y'all out for 30 years. And your friend say one thing side, you done cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Women are majorly guilty of that.
They are.
Majorly.
Yes.
And he treat you like shit, drag you all up and through here. But your friend do one thing, and instead of talking to her about it like a grown-ass woman should do,
Yes.
you call yourself not talking to her, backing up, but this, you know what, that lay up in your bed every night.
Don't say it, Nika. Don't say it.
I don't want to have to do no editing, so I'm gonna...
She done edited that.
She would have. She would have had to, Leality.
Yeah,
She has
I
had
don't
to
wanna
in the
cut that
past.
She bleeped it before she let it out.
Yes.
I know plenty of women like that. I personally know plenty of women like that. These nothings be laying up in y'all dead who can't even afford the door of the house y'all living in if it weren't for you. Y'all get them about 50,000 chances. Ladies, it's ridiculous. And wonder why they act the way they do. Because they know yo desperate ass gonna be right there trying to get them to stay. They know it. That's why
We help them feel entitled. We help them feel entitled.
I'm trying
we
to
create it.
Yeah.
To the point where men are so entitled to the point where when you don't chase a call to them, they feel like something is wrong.
Exactly. It's the craziest. Oh, it's the craziest thing.
I had heard from you. The phone dial both ways, fool. Y'all so used to women texting you and calling you and chasing you. When somebody don't do it, y'all feel like something is wrong.
Exactly.
Women, we did that. The desperation for relationships did that. And that's something women need to acknowledge. A lot of the behavior that men got when it comes to not settling down, not giving a lie, is because you do it all. Because you just want to be in love. That's why you can't focus on having no friendships, because you're chasing men too much. And this is something I've seen even now at this big age. I've had to tell women, you ain't got no more soles on them shoes, baby girl. Take them off. Chasing these men. Take them off. You don't chase.
They
you
say,
attract.
do you cook? I cook. Have you cooked for your homegirls?
Cooking for him because you want to be in a relationship. You don't chase, you attract. That's what's wrong with women. We chase instead of attracting. You just sit and be pretty. That's what you do. And let the best man win. Or do you not believe you can do that? Because if you don't believe you can do that, then that, my dear, is the problem. Mm-hmm. If you don't think you can just sit in your feminine energy and be pretty and let the best man win, something is wrong. Mm. If you feel like you got to chase men to get one, you'll never keep one. Because he know that too. See, men see you, ladies.
Very much so.
They know who's insecure, who not. They know.
I think they know as soon as they walk in a room.
Oh, they know.
They definitely do. It goes back to the energy and the light.
And a lot of men gonna walk up to the one woman who they know is insecure.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna. That's the one they're gonna go after when they have that mindset. I'm not saying all men are like this, because all men aren't. But if a man has an agenda, and you in the room with other ladies, and that man walk in that room, he ain't gonna just. He's most of the time, if he have an agenda, he's gonna choose the one who he feel like is gonna let him do what he want to do.
Absolutely.
At all times.
Absolutely. Yes. I have a couple male friends who told me that check out this tea, ladies. They told me that they know they're having to settle for what they perceive as not high caliber women because they feel like they don't have the amount of money that it would take to get the woman they really want. Don't be the fallback girl.
Wow.
Because a lot of y'all are the fallback girl. Y'all better hope these men don't ever get no money. Because if they do, your ass is left. Just know. Several men have confided that in me. If I had no money, I would, I'd probably die. And you think you got a prize. Let's see, that's the thing about healing. When you're healed to a certain degree as a woman, you can sense when someone is not being sincere, particularly men. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about raising your vibration. A lot of the shit that women go through, you wouldn't even attract that type of shit into your life because you're vibrating too high. You sense BS 30 miles away.
They when you vibrate high, those type of men, they're too afraid to even approach you.
They be intimidated.
Extremely.
Intimidated.
Mm-hmm.
They know intuitively you're a woman they can't get over on. Because
Exactly.
see, men are hunters. They're hunting for prey all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, anybody for the easiest prey, particularly because they're after pussy. That's what they want.
At the end
So
of
they
the
get, they're gonna go for the easiest catch. That's just human nature. That when you've healed to a certain degree, you see them.
They say
Please.
2 words out of their mouth and you already know what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Nah. You don't even have time for it. That's why I always talk about healing on this podcast and doing the self-work, ladies. It's important. That's the only way you change what's going on in your external world. You gotta work on that internal. Because not only is it going to affect your relationships with men, it's going to affect your relationships with women. I have good relationships with women because I worked on myself in my own shadows, my own insecurities. I worked on them over the years. I poured into myself. We can't always look for men to save us and Captain Save us. You got to save yourself. It's not their job. They can come into your life and help and assist and make it better. But ultimately, your happiness is your responsibility. It's not his responsibility. We put too much on them. They can't even figure themselves out. Look at them.
I was about to say.
How are they going to save you? They lost. Clearly lost. They can't even stop hurting each other. And y'all look to them to be saviors? Come on. It's just bare common sense not to hurt somebody that look like you. They don't see it working in each other because they don't see it within themselves. So you're looking for them to save you? They can't do it. They're trying to figure out themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You save yourself with you and God. It's time to do the work, ladies. There's so many books. There's so many YouTube videos. There's so many spiritual leaders and teachers. You have access to the internet. If you got a phone, if you have a phone, possess a cell phone, there's no reason for you not to be working on yourself. Not because the information is out there. You don't even got to go to the library no more. The library done came to you.
That's true.
That is so true.
It ain't.
Don't have to go. You have to leave the comfort of your own home.
Exactly.
Sit back in your bed.
Get off social media. Get off Facebook long enough to pour into yourselves.
Yeah.
Read. Do something that's gonna pray, meditate, do something that's gonna further your spiritual life. Because that's the foundation of healing.
Mm-hmm.
God wants us to see ourselves the way God sees us. And the problem is we don't.
Yeah.
That's what God told me.
Yeah. Be your
you don't
own.
see yourself the way I see you. That's your problem.
Oh, yes. You got to see yourself the way God sees you. If you don't, you're never going to elevate to no height.
And that was my problem.
Right. You have to.
I didn't see the worth in myself that God saw in me.
Mm-hmm.
And God took me on a journey to finally see that.
Yeah. And like
go ahead.
I tell Angel, the little girl that's my husband's sister, I say, be a trendsetter. You don't have to follow anybody else.
Absolutely.
When you came into this world, and when you leave this world, you're gonna be by yourself.
Absolutely.
Just be a trendsetter. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, you don't have to follow anybody else. You don't have to live up to anybody's standards. If you want to put on a certain thing to wear to school, it don't matter if your friends don't like it. It don't matter if they got an opinion about it. Okay, that's your opinion. I like it. We have to teach little girls to learn to love themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I agree.
Don't value the frivolous opinions of people. It's the character that counts.
I'm not a mama, but that is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
For women to teach their daughters self-love.
Yes.
God, that is the foundation of all other relationships.
She's in the 5th grade, and she's experiencing some things. And then there was a thing that they had at the school. She's in elementary school, where they were putting certain little girls they were taking their videos off of like TikTok or whatever they made, the YouTube, and they would put them on this thing, and they were saying things about them, like calling them fat or ugly and this, that, and the other.
That was
And I
going on
mean,
all the way through high school too, because my daughter, it was the same at her school too, Lee
yeah,
Ellison. I know exactly what you're talking about.
and the only reason I saw that, because she didn't share it with me, was that I go through her phone because I want to know what's going on, because you're not going to share everything, because you can't talk to kids if you don't know what's going on, because they're going to keep a lot of things inside. So your little girls, like you said, boys are sometimes they automatically taught to be tough and to, don't worry about, don't cry, don't do this. And, that's a whole nother story. But with the girls, they're emotional. They care what other people think about them.
They do.
But you got to learn how to tell them to use that in life in a good way. Well, you care about the way you treat people. That's what you care about. You don't care about the way people think you dress, how your hair look, how you should wear it, if you got on makeup, if you don't, what color you like, who you like, what kind of food you eat. You don't care about. Don't let that bother you, because that's personal. That's why it's called a personal choice.
Absolutely.
You don't have to ask other people, what should I eat today? Or what should I pick up your phone and call the people at school? What should I wear today? It's a personal choice.
Absolutely.
So when you walk out that door, remember that. If somebody don't like it, oh well, as long as your character is straight. And if we don't teach our girls that, this cycle is going to continue.
It is.
Because once you become an adult, you have to choose. But when they're young, you can instill that in them, and they can learn. It's learned behavior.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely, it's super important for young girls because they're so impressionable, and it's a natural thing to want to belong, and want to not be alienated from the crowd. That it's important for us to instill in young women that you're special and good enough just how you are. You don't have to be, if they don't want you, it's okay. If they don't want you to be a part of their clique, you make your own. You be the leader. You're perfectly made just how you are.
Exactly.
Because we go through school and not fitting in makes us feel inadequate, and then we become adult women and we're still feeling inadequate. And I tell Vanita this all the time: social media is a blessing and a goddamn curse.
It is. It most definitely
it's like
is.
An adult
Because there's so much comparison. Everybody's comparing and trying to look like the next, and trying to respond and act like the next, and
outdo one another.
Outdo one another, and it's crazy. And don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with what Kanika said earlier. It's okay to see something that somebody else have and admire that. It's nothing wrong with that. But don't take it so far.
And not taking it so far goes back to what this entire show is about, is doing the work on self, learning to love yourself. We as women have to start loving ourselves, because all of this starts with that. All of this falling out with each other, beefing that we be doing starts with not loving ourselves. Because when you love yourself, it's just certain shit you're just not going to do, certain shit you're not going to entertain. You're not even going to draw into your life.
And then stop hating on women who do love themselves. Don't think, she thinks she all that. No, it's not that I think I'm all that. It's that I'm okay with who I am.
Hating on somebody's confidence.
I'm okay with who I am, and I accept me for me.
That's a big one.
Exactly. And I'm not going to walk in the room with my head down because you think that I should. Because I've accepted my faults. I've accepted my shortcomings and I'm not talking about the character. I'm talking about the flaws that people may look at you and say that you have, because you're being judged by the perception of someone of themselves. Because I can't look at you guys and say, well, you should have this or that. That's the way I want to be.
Absolutely.
I can't want you to be the way I want to be. But there's so many women that will do that. So if you don't have what they think is beauty, then they're going to look at you when you walk in the room with confidence as, she don't look like, why she thinks she look like all that? It's not that I think I look all like that. It's that I'm confident and I accept who God made me to be.
Absolutely.
And that's just who I am.
Absolutely.
And women got to learn if they learn to accept themselves, and then work on what they want to work on. Like you said, everybody can be skinny if you want to.
Yes.
Everybody can gain weight if they want to. I mean,
Yes.
it might be hard for you to do. It might be ways that things you got to do it. But you can become who you want to be physically.
Absolutely.
In this day and time, you can change everything about yourself.
You really can. You can even do a facelift if you want to.
Yes.
You can change your nose, your eye. You can change all that if that's what you want to do.
Lips.
Yes.
You can add eyes, everything.
All those things.
Everything. You know.
And money don't even hold you back because you can finance it. Like, it ain't even on anything. There's so many ways you can do stuff now. There's no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Again, going back to working on ourselves as women. Now, it's time for us to pull out of the focusing on everybody, kids, niggas, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to focus on ourselves and self-love.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be jealous of one another. There's no reason to be. You're perfectly made just for whatever purpose God has for you.
Yeah.
You're perfectly made. I remember I didn't really like when I was like in the second or third grade. I can remember this so vividly. I did not like being tall. I thought it was the worst thing in the world.
Wow.
I was like, oh my God, I look like I'm in the 5th grade, but I'm in the 3rd grade. Like, I didn't like that. Because I wanted to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But now I understand that I'm perfectly made for the exact purpose God has me for. And that being tall is a good thing.
Yeah.
Being different I'm different. You know, I'm not the norm. And that's a good thing. It's okay to be your perfectly made self. Because you're special.
You guys remember when we were at the hospital and we were walking out? I don't know if y'all remember that man walked past and he saw Kanika and he was like, "Oh,
no,
yes." La La Land.
We all started laughing. He was like, well, that was obvious. He
didn't hide that one.
He
Like,
was mesmerized.
He really was mesmerized.
It was so obvious.
Yeah, he didn't even hide it.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing to look at the things that may be different from other women, you know, and embrace those things because that makes you special. I saw on Instagram, and I love to see women embracing things that they may have tried to hide, you know, when they were younger, like freckles. You know, I saw this girl who had a bunch of freckles that they were like all over her, but they were like, they made her look so cute. You know, that was like her thing. You know, she always had freckles because that was her thing. And she had like a lot of followers. She embraced what she probably hated, you know, when she was
growing
a
up.
young girl. It makes her special.
Mm-hmm.
We all have things about us, you know, that makes us specially made for God purpose for our life. The thing about it was what Lee Allison said is embracing that.
Embracing it. Yeah, like when I was growing up, I always wanted small lips. I just wanted small lips, and to me, I've always had my lips have always been a little bit thicker because you know when I was growing up, it was like thin with shape, thin with the shape, and small lips and the quote unquote white girl look.
Yeah, okay.
That's black girl. Those were the pretty girls.
Okay.
You know, I had long hair when I was younger, but I always want. But now look what's in full lips.
Full lips.
People paying for lips.
They are.
You know,
absolutely.
They are. You know
what I'm saying?
It's like embrace what you have.
Absolutely.
Because underneath the surface, somebody else out there want what you got.
Absolutely.
Not that you want them to want it, but just embrace what you have.
Yeah.
Because what you think you're lacking, you're not. What you're lacking is self-esteem.
That's it.
That's what you're lacking.
That's the core issue with a lot of us. We have to deal with our low self-esteem, our self-esteem issues that probably started as far back as being a child.
Exactly.
But in order to figure that out, you got to spend some time with you and God and cut out all the distractions. There's nothing wrong with want to be in love, and being in love is a beautiful thing, but not to the detriment of your own self-growth.
No.
And a lot of women have chosen that path.
Mm-hmm.
Searching for everything outside of yourself. No, it starts within. So look at your outside. Look around. That's a reflection of your inside. So if you don't like what has shown up in the 3D physical world, then you might want to see what's going on inside that little body of yours. Usually, it's usually in the mind.
Yeah, it is.
Some sort of trauma in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close. V, Allison, y'all got something? We had 1 hour and 30 minutes. It went by fast.
It really did.
It did. Do y'all have some closing remarks, V?
No, I don't have any closing remarks today.
What did I do?
Yeah. I don't. I just like women. I just pray that they learn to, love and accept who you are, so that you will be more accepting of others.
Absolutely. That is nothing more to say. That's the way to end it. When you are loving and accepting of yourself, it's easier for you to be loving and accepting of others. So very well put, Lee Allison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
And on that note, that sums up the entire show right there.
Yep.
Self-work. So again, coming weeks, months, and years, we're gonna focus on us as women and how we can become better versions of ourselves, so we can show up in these relationships in a much healthier way.
Yep, most definitely.
Yeah.
Because that's
Please
what's
like.
on.
Oh, thought you was finished. My fault. I was about to close us out.
Go ahead.
So you guys, please like, share, subscribe, press the little notification bell for us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody.
As always, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you might be watching the playback, wherever you are in the world, thank you. Thank you for Lee Allison for joining us. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to join. Thank you guys for inviting me.
You bring such great insight.
She really does. I love it.
Every single time. We love to have you. We will be back next Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Hope you all can join us. And hope you have a great rest of your week. Oh, yeah. And then next week, y'all, Super Bowl. We get to see Usher.
Woo, woo. Wait a minute. Is that next?
It's week after next.
Yeah, not this coming weekend. It's the
11th.
Following one. Yeah.
I didn't want Usher to do Super Bowl for so long. So excited. That's my favorite artist.
I cannot wait to see what he come out with.
I cannot wait.
Oh, I know. Me too.
Excited. So thank you all. We'll talk to you later and have a great week. Bye.
Bye, guys.